So who has been frustrated by the rule that your resume can only be 1 page long? I thought all of you would raise your hands. So a few of you. So think of this as your opportunity to put all of the things that you really want to put on your resume without breaking that rule of it being longer than 1 page. Because it scrolls down, and so if it's on your LinkedIn, that's fine. That's where people are looking. And in fact, this is where 99.9% of recruiters are looking anyway. Yes, if you are applying for a job, you still need to send in your resume, but chances are they're going to look at that, and if they like what they glance at, they're then going to pull up your LinkedIn profile. So all the things you couldn't fit on your resume can be here. The other thing to remember is that because so many recruiters are using LinkedIn, they are searching for you here, not in their inbox, opening up the letters that you're sending with your resume in them. And so it's really critical that you have the right keywords in your LinkedIn profile to help them find you for the jobs that you would be qualified for. So that's the #1 lesson actually that I could say today, is to make sure that whatever jobs that you're looking for, make sure that the keywords that would be in the job descriptions of those jobs are in your LinkedIn profile. You might even want to go through and look at several of those job postings, highlight the keywords, and then make sure that those same keywords show up in your profile multiple times. So it's like search engine optimization for your LinkedIn profile. Make sense? Okay. So then I'll just show you through some basic sections. Did you know that you can search for jobs on LinkedIn? Everybody knew that? Okay. So, and I just did a quick search before I came here just to make sure that everything was working right, and I put in social media marketing manager, and thousands of jobs showed up. Some of you are in my social media class or have been in my social media class. So don't waste this opportunity as a place to look for active jobs. This activity section is a section that shows what you've been up to lately. It used to feed quite easily from Twitter, but Twitter and LinkedIn had a fight and they broke up. And so now it will not feed from Twitter anymore, but you can do it in reverse. So if you were trying to only post in one place and have it feed to your LinkedIn, you can post on your LinkedIn and have it feed to Twitter instead. So it's like LinkedIn wanted the relationship, but Twitter didn't want the relationship. And you cannot move this away. So if you're not posting activity, it's just going to look like you're not posting. So keep that in mind. In terms of your experience, that is the section that you're most familiar with on your resume. The key here, though, is that there is an opportunity for you to get recommendations. How many of you already have recommendations on your experiences? So not that many of you. So that would be something that you could do for whatever jobs that you have listed here. Ask the people that could comment on how well you did your job to write a recommendation. People generally tend to be very willing to write LinkedIn recommendations because they're very easy to write. They're short, they're not as long as like a graduate school recommendation or something like that. The other thing to keep in mind is that you can post jobs that are not necessarily jobs. For instance, Brian was Christina was on the winning team in my advertising class last fall for a client. You could list that as experience, and you could ask the client to make a recommendation about why he chose that as the winning campaign on your experience. It then shows up like a job where it wouldn't show up that way on a one-page paper resume. And it gives you an opportunity to highlight some things that are really special about you. This is a summary, and an interesting thing about LinkedIn is recently LinkedIn changed its format to allow the users to determine what view came up first. So it used to be that summary came right after this sort of profile listing, but now you can put whatever you want first. And the summary is a great place to list all of those keywords that are showing up in the jobs that you know that you want to look for. This is where you can be endorsed, which is a lower level recommendation than the general recommendations. It's really just a simple clicking, would someone endorse you? Do you have endorsements so far? A few of you have endorsements. So that's a good thing to get. You can list your publications, so if you've written papers, for instance, publish them on SlideShare, publish them on your blog, things like that, you can identify them here. Course certifications, education, honors, and then there's a separate place for recommendations. So lots of different things that you can have here on LinkedIn that would not fit on just one page of your resume. Again, the most important thing I can tell you is to make sure that you have the keywords for the jobs you want throughout this profile so that the recruiters can find you.
If I could just comment very, very briefly. And if you've had me in class, you've heard me say this probably more than once. But really, there's never been a time in history, ever, where there's been a tool like LinkedIn where you can choose where you want to live and what you want to do. Just go on there and search the city, choose the industry, find the company, and start trying to get it, right? Anywhere you want to be, it's up to you. And this is the number one, to me, number one best tool right there. And most of you with a smartphone, it's in your hand.